What's up, everyone? This is Spilling Tea with Chris G, and I'm going over Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. Of course, I'm gonna hit you guys with my top five highlights, and I'm gonna spill the tea at the end. So let's get started. So for my first highlight, Nikki reconciled with Rosa and Safari. So Nikki has showed up to Rosa Costa's store in the beginning of the episode, where she had went ahead and brought Rosa some flowers, just to say, I'm sorry, for lying to you. And Rosa said that she felt used. She felt like there was no really reason why Nikki was lying to her about this relationship with Safari. And Rosa had really valued their friendship and the time that they spent together, and she just felt like Nikki didn't care about it. But Nikki had won her back over, but they did agree to stay friends. Now, she met up with Safari as well to make it right, and Safari is a character. He's telling Nikki that he wants to be married, he wants to have kids, and he wants a dog named Badman. What? Not Batman, y'all. Badman. And Nikki was like, I don't know if I'm ready for all of that. However, he is a very sweet guy, so I just wanted to go ahead and reconcile with that. Now, Safari said that he would stay single for Nikki, and as long as she wasn't dealing with anyone, he wouldn't deal with anyone. So that was good. On to my second highlight. Jason Lee is coming through with the receipts, y'all. So Max, Ray J, Brandy, and Princess were all in the studio. Max was recording his song Romeo Must Die because he felt like he's always writing for other artists, and this time he wanted to write for himself. So that's what he did. He is recording, everything is good. And Brandy had a surprise for everyone, which was Jason Lee. So Jason Lee pops up in the studio, and he brings the Moniz Slaughter sex tape. So everybody's watching it. Princess, of course, she's like, look at that hairy butthole. I'm like, ew. So they're watching it. And of course, Ray J, he kind of started getting a little upset about it because nobody else knows more than a sex tape leaking other than Ray J. So Ray J said he didn't want to have any parts of it. And Max had told Brandy that he was going to tell Fizz because that's his friend and that's only right. So... and actually, that's what he did. Within the next upcoming scenes on the same episode, they were at a party, and Max did bring to Fizz's attention that not only did Moniz try to expose Brandy at her listening party with this case that Brandy has going on, but now it's a sex tape that Brandy and Princess have found after they reached out to Jason Lee. So Fizz is now aware of the whole situation, but he's just saying, I'm tired of cleaning up Moniz's messes. Fizz. On to my third highlight. Pam versus Lyrica G and Lyrica A. So on this episode, oh my God, was not shy of any drama. Pam, at her house doing her little gardening or whatever. A1 and Safari are sitting there chilling. All of a sudden, this tow truck rolls up and is putting A1's car, on the little tow things or whatever. So Pam is yelling, A1, your car is getting towed. So he comes running out. He's like, what is going on? And the tow truck driver was saying, hey, I'm just sitting here. You know what I'm saying? Lyrica G pulls up in her Jeep and she's towing the car. Because after that whole waist trainer thing at the park, she didn't like it. So Safari jumps on top of the tow truck. Pam is yelling at Lyrica G, and then all of a sudden they was about to fight. A1 is saying, well, the reason why she has the car in her name is because my credit wasn't good at the time. Okay, so real quick, Lyrica G already didn't like you. So why do you have a vehicle that's in her name? Number two, if you and Lyrica A are writing for all these big name artists, why don't you have your own car? And in the scene, you're saying you share a car. Okay. So it's reality TV. What can I say? So anyways, so Safari's jumping all on top of the tow truck because he feels bad for A1. He knows, hey, my car got towed one time too. And so then all of a sudden, Safari gets down off the tow truck. Lyrica G's fighting Pam. All of a sudden, A1 gets into Lyrica G's car and says, well, you shouldn't have had your car running, so let me go ahead and take your Jeep. So he took off. So later on in the episode, phone's blown up between Lyrica A's phone is blown up between A1 and Lyrica G. So Lyrica, she finally shows up to the house with A1 and Pam, and she's saying, why is my mom's car out here? And A1 explained the situation that or Pam, she explained the situation, basically was saying, your mama came up, told the car, she didn't tell us why, but she told told y'all car. So then Pam and Lyrica start to get into it because Pam says, I really like you and you're a really pretty girl, but your mama is something else. And they just kept throwing insults back and forth, and Lyrica A didn't like the fact of what Pam was saying about her mama. So it just turned up from there. But that car situation, bye. On to my fourth highlight. So Ray J and Princess is still planning for their wedding. So they had met up with the wedding planner, and Sonia, aka Mama Norwood, also showed up as well. So they're looking at the items, and Ray J and Mama Norwood did not like the items that were picked out for the wedding. So they kind of felt like it was too old and dated, so they finally had decided on a modern aesthetic. So Princess stayed behind and she was looking at some more stuff, and Ray J and Mama Norwood had went to go sit down and eat some lunch. Well, basically, Mama Norwood told Ray J that she didn't feel like they were ready to get married. She feels like she had built up a brand, and a lot of these women, they'll take your brand back down by you having to pay alimony, child support. She just wasn't feeling this whole thing, and she felt like Ray and Princess should wait at least a few years to get to really know each other, even after all of those fights and stuff that has been happening down in New Orleans, if you guys remember. I mean, just a lot of crazy stuff with them. So Princess had joined them after a few minutes of them sitting alone, having some alone time. And Mama Norwood, she expressed her feelings. She was saying, I don't think you two are ready to put in the work to get married. Now, Ray J did tell his mom before, I try to move with strategic planning. You know that I don't just do things out of impulse, but she feels like them two will not do what they're supposed to do. So later on in the episode, Princess has showed up to a video shoot with Ray J, and Ray J was having, like, the video chick rubbing all on him and stuff. And Princess, she said, if you ever find a chick that's better than me, let me know. She had stormed off the video set because she felt like Ray J was kind of reverting back to his old ways with this chick rubbing all on him. And he's supposed to be married within a few days, and Princess was under a lot of stress too, and the fact that Mama Norwood earlier had told her that she doesn't believe they should be married. So Ray J didn't come home. He was at his office, and Princess had came up there, and they were trying to have a conversation, but things kind of went left because he felt like she wasn't being an adult and that her mouth was reckless, and that was her problem. So hopefully, I'm sure Ray J went home because they married now, but yeah, that was a mess. On to my fifth highlight. What a sex tape mess. So Fizz had confronted Moniz basically about what happened with Brandy at her listening party. And Moniz, of course, says she didn't feel bad about exposing Brandy. But then Fizz presents the fact that there is a sex tape out there and Jason Lee has it. And Brandy and Princess brought it up, or basically dug it up from Jason Lee. So then Moniz, she kind of pulls that victim card a little bit because she's saying, well, Brandy's a mother and that's not fair. Why would you do that? That's something I don't play with. Well, to me personally, if you can bring up somebody's court case at a listening party, I think you would pull one of their sex tapes if you knew they had one floating out there. So that's just my opinion. So Jason Lee, Moniz, and Fizz did meet up. First, it was Jason Lee and Fizz. And Fizz was saying, I need to have that sex tape back. And Jason Lee was saying, well, first off, let me just let you know, I don't have it in my possession. However, I do have access to it. And I do my research on everyone, basically. So, this is something that's legit. So, of course, Moniz comes in, she sits down, and she's, doing her little spiel. Basically, I don't consent to you having my sex tape, and who is it and where's it at, and I need access to the name, who's on it. And Jason Lee, he's so first off, I just want to let you guys know I know my First Amendment rights, and I don't have the sex tape. He told her again, I have access to it, and you know who's up on the tape with you. And yes, your attorney did send me the letter, but I know my rights. So Moniz had got up. She was again saying, well, I don't consent to have my sex tape out there. So she had got up and left. And so Fizz asked who was the person that was on there, or what do they do? And Jason Lee said that they were a rapper, but he didn't say who they were, and he didn't say how famous they were. So let me go ahead and spill that tea, because actually I know who's on the sex tape. Let's get it. So who is on the sex tape with Moniz? His name is Money SL. He is signed to the Money Team music group. So Mayweather's music group he's signed to. I've never heard of him before, but he seems to be real big on YouTube, and he has a lot of pictures with a lot of famous people up on his Instagram. So that's who it is. I tried to find more information out on him, but that's all I got. Actually, not Masika. Yeah, Masika. Yeah, she had got into it with Moniz because a vlogger, kind of like myself, had basically took to his Instagram to say, you need to go ahead, Moniz, and take notes, because Masika had did her listening party, and that's how you do it. So Masika was saying ha ha ha, and she tagged Moniz in it, and Moniz said, I really don't find that funny. And Masika was trying to tell her that that it wasn't in that light, but girl, bye. You knew that listening party was kind of crazy with Moniz exposing that girl. But speaking of Moniz, she had took to her Twitter, so let me go ahead and read you guys the tweets. I won't be watching the rest of the season, including a reunion. Producers need to revisit the way they choose to rake in ratings. Somehow VH1 feels the only coverage I'm worthy of is destructive, degrading bullshit. So you heard it first from Moniz. I don't know if Moniz is going to actually be back on the season. But also her bestie Masika, now she did go ahead and release her song Black Cinderella. So if you guys want to go ahead and cop that, I guess there's a link or something up on her Twitter. I don't know. I was looking at that. And then Jason Lee had took to the Instagram to let us know that, because I did have a 60-second tea about it, but he has time for Moniz still, aka he keeps calling her Ho-niece, and that he doesn't care if she has attorneys or not. But apparently everybody, including Max, Brandy, Ray J, and Princess, have all gotten letters from Moniz's attorney about this whole sex tape situation, which is crazy. That is it for you guys. Please make sure you subscribe, and please make sure you check out our Facebook page, Spilling Tea with Chris G. You guys have a good night.